Google Earth may seem like a waste of time for you, but thanks to people who spend hours of our lives poring over it, we have this list today. Today, we're going to be seeing 15 of the strangest things people found on Google Earth. Number 15. Ancient wheels. These wheel-shaped structures can be found daunting, Jordans, Oz, Rock, Oasis. These ancient geoglyphs made back from 8,500 years, making them older than Peru's geoglyph score. Old, the Nazca lines. They also seem to be positioned in a way that aligns with sunrise on the winter solstice, giving them some ancient religious significance. The wheels vary in their design, with some showing spokes that radiates from the center, others simply have just one or two bars rather than spokes, and still others aren't circular at all, and instead shaped like squares, rectangles, or even triangles. Number 14. Undiscovered pyramid. There's something you definitely don't see every day. This image from Google Earth shows an anomaly that some believe could be an unexcavated pyramid. Given how long people have been exploring the land of the pharaohs, finding a previously undiscovered pyramid sounds highly unlikely. However, there are probably more out there buried beneath the hot desert sands. Dozens of anomalies in Egypt have been detected using Google Earth in the past 5 years. However, there is a debate as to whether they represent natural features or artificial structures. More excavations are needed, but the security and economic situation in Egypt has some rated the number and size of excavations. Number 13. Weird pentagram on the windblown steppes of Central Asia and an isolated corner of Kazakhstan. There is a large pentagram measuring roughly 1,200 feet in diameter etched into the Earth's surface. The five-pointed star surrounded by a circle located on the southern shore of the Upper Tobol Reservoir shows vividly on Google Maps. The online version of the more detailed Google Earth. Many online comments length. Lightwood devil worship, nefarious religious sects, or denizens of the underworld. However, the reasons for the giant star's existence is actually neither dark nor nefarious. The pentagram turns out to be the outline of a park made in the form of a star. The star itself is marked by roadways that are now lined with trees, making the star shade even more distinct, and aerial photos. Number 12. Abandoned missile launch site from 1954 to the 1970s, the United States was daunted with missiles. Saints armed with Nike missiles, a kind of supersonic surface-to-air missile. Some of those missiles even carry nuclear warheads and were always primed to launch, but with the development of more intercontinental ballistic missiles, the Nike quickly became obsolete. Here is one of those sites. The Oahu Defense Area in Hawaii, shown in 1968. The site was once equipped with missiles and open air with embankment between pet launch sites. We have this photo today, thanks to David Tewksbury, system information specialists at Hamilton College in New York. He is preserving a visual record of the abandoned Nike missile launch sites before they vanish, either as a result of being reclaimed by nature, repurposed by the military, or even redeveloped. His plan is to build a georeference database so that anyone can research the Nike missile sites through Google Earth. Number 11. Holy Syria. The civil war in Syria has endangered hundreds of ancient archaeological sites, including causing damage to all 6 of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites located in the country, which is considered one of the oldest occupied areas of the Earth. Google Earth satellites have shown much of this devastation, with some of the strangest imagery showing destruction and apnea. Then our Google Earth images have revealed the entire ancient Roman city that has been pockmarked with holes dug by looters since the start of the Civil War. A bird's-eye view of the place clearly shows that the landscape has more in common with the surface of the moon rather than an ancient city. Number 10. Island in a lake on an island in a lake on an island. That is a lot of stuff right there. Yes, the title of this segment is a bit of a mouthful, but this Google Earth image can be described in any other way. It's a small island in a lake, which is also on an island, and a lake, which is yet again on an island. Did I lose you know where I got lost for a few seconds myself? The image that you're looking at is of Taal volcano, located in the Philippines. I'll bring the photo down for you, right there. In the center of the photo was a tiny island located in the volcano's crater called Crater Lake, because it's filled with water. The island around the crater is the volcano itself, which is also an island located in Taal Lake. Taal Lake is then on the island of Luzon, the largest island of the Philippines. Okay, we all got up now. Good, I'm not explaining it again. This phenomenon was long thought to be the largest of its kind ever spotted on Google Earth. That was until the very next entry that was found. Number 9. An island in a lake on. I'm not doing this. You know how this goes. The world's largest island in a lake on an island in a lake on an island in a lake. There you go. Is on a narrow 4-acre strip of land in Canada. Located at exactly 60 9.793 degrees north to 108.241 degrees west. The nameless island, which is that little tilt-shape squiggle of green lows across the center of a small lake which is itself encapsulated by a slightly larger that resides inside one series of longer finger lakes, located 75 miles inland from the southern coast of Victoria Island feature in northern Canada. This little sub-island would never have been found and received its strange distinction, if not for careful trolling of Google Earth by math geeks around the world, which is probably the only way for people to see the place, because in all likelihood of no humans ever actually set foot there. Number 8. The biggest word, literally Ahmed Bin, is a billionaire sheik and member of Abu Dhabi's ruling family, and what does he do with his billions? Well, like any self-respecting billionaire would do, he had his name carved into the sandy surface of Fat Ale Sea Island. He owns in the Persian Gulf and have a mile tall and 2 miles long altogether. The letters hammered may be the world's largest, and regardless, they're visible from space. Normally words written in sand wash away, but these letters are large enough to form waterways that absorb the approaching tide and eat. Time of these satellite photographs were taken said to, I can be seen flowing through the letters all the way to the numbers 7. Strange patterns in the Gobi. Newfound Google Earth images have revealed an array of mysterious structures and patterns etched into the surface of China's Gobi Desert. Experts are divided in speculations as to what they are, the most popular guess being that this is a secret military base, and the structures are used for a variety of purposes, including weapons, testing, spy, satellite, calibration, and testing of radar instrument. Asian. Well, we found it on Google Earth. It's not really a secret. Now, is it? The most elaborate feature is an intricate grid of perfectly straight lines that weave back and forth every few hundred feet for 20 miles is most likely a Yonghi antenna array, a device used for weather tracking and other atmospheric research. Number 6. Worldwide advertising. Considering the number of people who troll Google Earth and the free time, it isn't surprising that enormous advertisements have started popping up in remote areas for their viewing, a concept known as mat fertilizing. The entire thing may sound weird to you, but it makes perfect sense for companies to do this, because aside from the cost of making these humongous billboards, it's basically free advertising. The world's largest Coca-Cola logo, for example, can be seen on a hillside in Chile, and it's said to be made of 70,000 empty Coke bottles, and this photo is quite obviously an 87,500 square foot picture of Colonel Sanders. Number 5. Military facilities. Or not. This image created a stir back in 2013 when an ex-CIA analyst told Wired.com that he had found mysterious structures in the desert around Kashgar, a city in China's remote western desert that is part of the Xinjiang province. The site includes several large buildings, including a large U-shaped building, and some of the buildings of the site are nearly 350 feet long, and the wake of China's anti-satellite test at the time, it wasn't surprising to speculation exploded. The truth, however, is a little less explosive. The area is probably part of an initiative to develop the region into a major manufacturing or economic center, not a secret military base, said Stephen Jeans, a technologist and geospatial blogger who has spent months in that area of China, documenting its development. Number 4. A weird Aussie triangle. In Australia, these coordinates on the screen. A strange triangle dotted with bright lights appear as in the middle of a field. Quite predictably, when first discovered in 2007, a UFO on all just were quick to call it a triangle UFO. Caught in the act of hovering above the Earth. As you can probably tell, what you're seeing is an unpopulated region of Australia. But now the question is, why is there a perfect triangle in the middle of the fields? And one that looks as though it's fitted with lights. At that other Google Earth user say it may be an antenna associated with a nearby remote-controlled wind farm, but the 3 sets of wires forming a triangle and a tower in the middle, the antenna likely receives and transmits control signals. Number 3. The airplane graveyard. The Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona is where U.S. military planes go to die, dubbed the Boneyard. This 2,600 acres cemetery of steel at coordinates 3208, 59.90, 6 north to 110.50 9.031 s is closed to the general public, but Google Earth provides a high-resolution glimpse of what's inside. Virtually every plan the military has flown since World War II is a local of Tucson, Arizona, who's actually been to here and seen a little bit about it. It really is a cool sight to take in. Also, a little bit of trivia. We're not going to talk about any specific photo, but a phenomenon that started when people started to casually browse Google Earth. Cryptozoologists say that since this has happened, their job suddenly became a lot easier. With that said, number 2. Sea monsters. Today's best picture shows us a photo of what seems to be a giant crabzilla, if you will. Could it be a real creature? Could it be a hoax? Who knows? But we do know images of giant unidentified creatures have been on Google Earth since its inception. Kind of like this, for instance, which made the rounds in the internet back in 2016. People seem to think that this is some Kraken-like creature that was captured as it broke the surface of the ocean. It has since been disproven, however, and turned out to be just a rock. Before we move on, video, we put out number 1. The Grand Prismatic Spring. This is called the Grand Prismatic Lake, also called the Rainbow Hot Springs, located in Yellowstone National Park. This lake always shines with the colors of the rainbow and was first officially described and named by the Hayden expedition in 1871, and now, thanks to Google Earth, we can see it in all its glory without the hassle of traveling. Tiny microorganisms call these hot springs their home, and they're actually responsible for the observed amazing colors that we see. You see, these springs are heated in such a way that the temperature varies from the center towards the edges. It just so happens that different kinds of bacteria live in these different temperature zones, and these different bacteria refract sunlight differently from each other, given the lake its myriad of colors. Have you seen any strange things on Google Earth lately? Let us know down below in the comments. Also, make sure to check out the channel's other amazing videos. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.